All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at the summit of Mount Washington for another broadcast of Home of the World's Worst Weather Live. My name is Ian Bailey. I am a weather observer and educational specialist here on the summit of Mount Washington. Now, meteorologists, generally speaking, when they work on a forecast, they kind of approach it like going down a funnel, looking at the absolute biggest picture that we possibly can, and then working our way all the way back down to our local area. So the biggest picture that you could ever really look at is on a global scale. So we're looking at weather patterns in different hemispheres, like the northern and southern hemisphere. That's the absolute biggest picture that you can look.
I'm meteorologist Ian Bailey, and it's been a pretty messy weekend so far. We've had rain, we've had snow, we've had high winds, and unfortunately, we're not out of the woods just yet. Looking at our planning forecast for today, so we did start off a little bit chilly this morning, right around freezing at 34 degrees, but the temperatures will continue to build throughout today. We'll see around 48 degrees in the early to mid-afternoon, and then 55 degrees as we head into the evening hours, but you will notice that most of the day will be mostly cloudy skies. Taking a look at our live Vipar radar, here we are in Columbus at 34 degrees, and you will notice that a lot of these areas here in the pink, that's where we're going to see that rain and snow wintry mix, possibly some sleet as we go throughout the day, so be on the lookout for that if you are going to be out and about. Looking at our temperatures currently, Columbus is at 34 degrees, Marion up here at 32. A lot of us are going to be around the same temperature, except looking down here at the southeast at Athens at 37, you are a little bit warmer than the rest of us. If we zoom into our local area, here we are again, New Albany is seeing 33 degrees, Commercial Point down there at 34, and Circleville at 33 degrees. So again, pretty much everybody relatively same temperature throughout the day.
Brine ice is a really fascinating feature that has to do with water. So when the summit is completely coated in fog and temperatures drop below freezing, the water droplets inside that fog cloud will actually stay in a liquid form. We call that super cooled water. Now, when the wind blows those little water droplets onto every structure up here, it actually freezes instantly on contact. If you want to come in close, take a look at this. It actually freezes on contact and grows backwards into the direction of the wind where it's going to hit from. And so we get these little needles and spikes. And generally speaking, low pressures are responsible for the bad weather. That's when we see cloudy skies, rain, snow, sometimes thunderstorms or severe weather. Not every single low is going to be severe and scary, but low pressures are essentially disturbances in the atmosphere where we expect to see not so great weather. As pressure systems move over the top of the Rockies, they actually get squeezed and compressed, and they kind of weaken and destabilize a little bit. The best metaphor that we like to use for that is like, think of an ice skater. And when an ice skater is all spread out and spinning around, they spin kind of low and slow and kind of weakly. But then when they pull their arms in and tighten up, they actually spin faster and faster. And that exact same phenomenon happens with pressure systems when they move over mountains.
Thanks, guys, and unfortunately, I don't have very great news for you weather-wise. We already saw a pretty crummy day today, and it's only going to get worse headed into this evening. Low of around 33 degrees. We are going to be hovering around that freezing point temperature, so you can expect clouds with some rain showers, and here's that nasty word, snow. We might see some snow showers headed in tonight. It will be very windy. Gusts will be up to about 20 miles per hour, so if you are going to be out and around tonight, be on the lookout for that. Here we have our live radar of Columbus, and the one thing that I really want to pay attention to up here are these snow showers that are building in up in the northwest. They're going to work their way down across the state.
So as we move to the afternoon hours, there it is. Look at all of this wind. If you look down here at this very small part, let me zoom in a little bit further. You can really see the barbs on these little flags that turn into triangles. Those triangles represent 50 knots, so maybe like 55, almost 60 mile per hour wind speeds down here. Just off the coast of Virginia and North Carolina. You can see clouds just kind of briefly zip up over the summit there, and bam, right there. So let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see really well. So right here is what we call Peleus cloud, or what you might know as a cap cloud. You can kind of see it forms like a little lid right over the top of the mountain. There's even one forming right at the summit level. And we'll also watch, we're going to kind of get locked into a channel here between the temperatures that are rotating from the previous low, the temperatures that are rotating in from the low moving up the coast. We're going to get locked into some pretty easy temperatures.
What are you guys telling folks who are going to be hiking to the summit? How do you even prepare for that?
So the biggest thing you've got to do is recognize that it's going to be vastly different between starting off at the base and coming up here to the summit. Like you mentioned, temperatures are going to be in the 90s down at the base with heat indexes at 100 or higher. When you come up here, it's going to be a little bit colder. But things that you can do to prepare, you've got to pack tons of water and extra water too, more than you should be used to. Salty snacks, you can keep your electrolytes up. Don't push yourself past your limit. You know when it's right to turn around because there's going to be an expo down at the base anyway. It's going to be a great time down there.
High around 50, low 29 Saturday. Take a look on Saturday. Here we have the snow again. Oh, that snow. High of around 38 degrees. We are going to see rain and snow showers throughout the day, especially as we head into Saturday night with that low around 25. Sunday is going to be cloudy. High of around 52 degrees, low around 48. Monday, we're going to see the return of that rain showers, a high around 56 and a low of 37. And as we head into Tuesday, we will see that high around 52 and, oh my gosh, finally some sunshine, low of 31 degrees.
So this ice right here is one of those chunks of ice, really, really heavy. So it's probably upwards of about 50 pounds here, all one giant chunk of ice. There you go, so you can see. And this is about half of its normal size. So this is about 3, maybe 3.5 feet long, which was growing outside on the observation deck. And I'll come in close so you can see it's kind of got this interesting like square dent-like structure. There we go, inside. So that's where you can see it was growing on the A-frame itself. And it's actually a combination of glaze ice, so I don't know how well you guys can see, but those clear sections of the ice there are actually glaze. And then the more opaque sections, the hard parts that you can't really see through, that's the rime ice. And so this is remnant. This is left over from actually a few days ago. And again, it's incredibly heavy. All right, let's go ahead and identify some low pressure systems. Probably a bit easier if you're looking at the same feed that I am right now. So we do have this comma-like structure and some rotation right here with this big system that's been forming in the central plains going into the mid-Atlantic, so it definitely looks like a low-pressure system right here. And for those of you who aren't familiar with these type of storms, nor'easters are named nor'easters because, again, as air rotates counterclockwise around the low pressure, up here in New England proper, we actually see winds from the northeast pretty frequently, and so that's why they're called nor'easters. You can see the low pressure that moved through yesterday on the backside of the system here. So it's still having a little bit of an effect. Again, it's still rotating moisture down in from the northeast. So as the high pressure that's hanging just on the bottom of the screen down here kind of takes over the region and allows for clear and stable conditions. Again, still the possibility for some remnant moisture, maybe a few clouds. Again, partly cloudy conditions are expected overnight into tomorrow. And then we expect, at least for our shift change tomorrow, things to be pretty clear and calm. So again, the high pressure is pretty much dominant over us through most of the day on Wednesday, but you can now start to see as we get.
So this is our largest annual fundraiser, and as a nonprofit organization, this is how we raise funds so that we can operate the weather observatory up here. And there are probably going to be hundreds of people, involved in the event in lots of different ways. People will be hiking up here for the summit of Mount Washington. We're also telling people you can hike to any of the other surrounding summits. It doesn't have to be the top of Mount Washington to participate, but there are going to be a lot of people on the trails, and there are a lot of people down at the base at the end of the event. So it's a pretty big deal. I'm expecting several hundred hikers to come through, and those who are participating in the event will get tours of the observatory when they come, so we're going to have plenty of people inside the building as well. So it's a pretty big event. It's going to be a ton of fun.
We're looking at really high and really cold clouds. So the closer you are to these reds and oranges, those are really high, well-developed and cold cloud tops. And then like the lighter greens into the blues, those are systems that are either developing or not terribly high up into the atmosphere.
So what's going on to cause all this? Let's take a look at our weather maps here. We can see that we have this area of high pressure that's been building up in the northwest. That's going to work its way down into the Ohio region throughout the rest of the day and through Thursday. On Friday, that high pressure will definitely be settled in over the area, and that's when you're going to see those increased wind speeds and the increase in temperature. Now, you've noticed that we have this huge system of wintry mix of rain and snow that's building on the west coast. That system is going to push its way across the Rocky Mountains, headed into Saturday, and kind of explode its way across the plain states. We probably won't see the effects of that system here until Monday or Tuesday, but we'll definitely be watching for an increase in rain and an increase in wind speeds, and we'll absolutely keep you posted on that as the storm progresses.
So right here, there's your high pressure that I was talking about just a moment ago. This, as we step forward, you're going to watch it swing into the mid-Atlantic and start to push into the northeast. It will be replaced by some organized moisture and then the developing low pressure system coming off the Rockies behind it, but that probably won't have any real big impact until we get into like Friday heading into the weekend. So enjoy some clear and stable conditions out there.
Bailey, and we've had beautiful weather for the last couple of days, lots of sunshine, lots of blue sky. It's only going to get better from there. Unfortunately, those of you guys who suffer from seasonal allergies, you've definitely been feeling the effects of that. Usually, that's dampened when we have rain in the forecast. You know, the rain kind of helps deal with the pollen from the trees and the flowers. But since it's been really dry and really warm the last couple of days, a lot of pollen coming from those guys. So if you guys are having seasonal allergy issues, that's why. And unfortunately, the forecast for that is high for the next couple of days. So you will be definitely feeling the effects of that going forward.
So if you're feeling any symptoms associated with seasonal affective disorder, we have a couple of tips for you. First of all, let more light into the place where you're living at. If that means installing some new lights, opening a window, or opening the blinds, go ahead and do so. Also, when it's not crummy like this outside, go ahead and enjoy a walk, ride a bike, go walk around in a park for a while, get outdoors. And last and most importantly, exercise. About 150 minutes of exercise per week, get that heart rate up, and you'll be feeling right as rain. And we promise the sun, it's on its way soon. And if you're interested in checking it out, feel free to go to their website at ohiostateugc.com or check them out on Facebook, Ohio State Urban Gaming Club. And you should definitely look into it because I hear it's definitely going to be a blast. For Lantern TV, I'm Ian Bailey.